Hello there, and welcome to episode 3 of my Factorio gameplay series for space exploration. Today we are going to go for the starter base setup. We're going to go for electric science. I finally prepped up everything I require behind the scenes, and I'm going to go as far as I can into actual starter mall things. I want the mining drills, assembling machines, and inserters, and basic logistics automated before we go out there and claim the wilds. So that's the plans. Before we actually get started, check out the link down there in the comments. The topmost one leads you to my new Let's Play channel. Just give it a subscribe. Once it hits 1,000 subs, I'm going to publish more gameplay content than ever over there. Well, to get ourselves some labs going, I discovered that we require glass. So I've been a busy boy behind the scenes, and I brought up a little something. Crushing some stone to sand and burning that sand to glass. It was nothing really out of the ordinary. I just did that behind the scenes so we can get ourselves to the actually interesting parts. But these little machineries, they really pay off a lot. I also, like I said, expanded here in these areas. The copper furnaces were originally in this direction. I removed that design because it proved to be not expandable, and that's just a no-no for me. So now we can expand that. Not that I really want to dive too deep into that nightmare here. It's a really, really naughty little patch here, where you have these three materials very, very closely together. It's so much work to separate them and such low payoff. We're not going to go for that. So, what we're going to go for now is the science production. I've taken the liberty of building something up on the factory planner. So, using this as sort of a cookbook, so you can see what we need and all those things. I do prepare these behind the scenes as much as I can, because it's really no fun watching me doing this. But what's really important is we can see here Grid Science does require only 6 assembling machines and a pretty low amount of my resources here. I went only for half a unit of science per second because I figured that I really don't want to stress out my system too hard. Steady wins, slow and steady wins the race in this regard. But the first thing that I'm actually going to do is I'm going to reverse the traveling direction here. So same goes for this one. Because I figured that I don't want to go deeper north with my current build. I actually want to head south, because that's where also the resources are. Sometimes you just don't know where you're going to be heading with your design, and that's totally okay. Factorio allows you to pick up everything and rewire it. No biggie. So, we are going to go and combine these flows here, because I really feel like that's a very easy way to do this in the early game. But I'm going to do this orderly. So, that means we're going to go and have one main string that's not mixed. There we go. So, bit of belt black magic, and this is going to be what we're using for our science production now. So let's see, where do I want to head with all that? I think we're going to go this way. It's not really that important, but you have to have some direction, don't you? So it's going to be a very simple thing. We do go for the iron gear wheel production here, but for the first time now, I'm going to make sure that this thing is going to work on its maximum efficiency. So max rate calculator thankfully can tell you how many inserters you need for the job, and yeah, it's actually crazy how many inserters you actually require here. So we're going to go, and it's 3 of these guys because I have to, but it's okay. I mean, it looks ridiculous, but don't you worry, we're going to get to the tech which shuts this down or changes this fast enough. Because it's only the starter phase where you're forced to do such weirdnesses. Later, we are just going to upgrade the capacity of our inserters and everything will be goody. So, our main interest here is to put up these 5 guys. Do I have long-handed inserters already? Yes, I do. Brilliant. So we're going to rock this boat with some long-handed inserters. Why not? Makes everything quite orderly. We're no longer in the absolute starter phase, so we can actually make things a little bit tidy. There we go, and that's actually already it. If I remember correctly, the basic inserter amount for these guys is actually ridiculously low. We have to output via long-handed inserters. It's a bit of a inserter-heavy build that I'm rocking here, but whatever. Gets the job done. That's what matters. I feel like Factorio is a game where it's super easy to run into a wall because you're overthinking the aesthetics of your factory too much, or the efficiency. One of my favorite sentiments that I've read over the course of the time was people asking when I saw this, is my factory good enough? And the answer was, does it do what you're expecting it to do? I think that's exactly what you should be always thinking about. That's the actual important thing. Alright, I'm rambling. So we got ourselves the labs down now. Or the science, I should rather say. So where are we going to science out stuff? I'd say we're going to go on over here. Again, because that's a expandable concept. I also am afraid that I might be not able to pay my electricity bill now. We actually amped up the consumption here by quite a lot. So I'm somewhat afraid that I'll need to get myself some new thingies up, but we'll see about that. Oh no, I'm so stupid. Oh man, I'm so bad at forward planning where I should put these things. Okay, that'll do the trick. So we got red signs back up, but that's not where I want to end for today. I have prepared everything for the green signs as well, because we can totally do it. There's no problem whatsoever for us. Actually, our power consumption ain't that horrible. Okay. Cool. Nice. So, red signs is happening. 0.5 per sec. Ain't that bad. So, I have also whipped up the same thing for the green signs, which is a lot more just plain out said. We do have a hunger for copper and iron. That's all this recipe requires, so we're safe here. Therefore, we're just going to use and tap this lane. Come on, let's do this. So here we got it a little bit more complicated, though. So I'm going to go for... No, not going to produce these actual science packs here. So first of all, what I really want to do is I want to clarify that this stuff will run down here. So I hate these setups. So we need one for the iron gear wheels. The best way that I've learned to do things here is to... Actually, I have to put this down here. Is to read these from bottom to top. Because this way you start with the most basic ingredient and everything. So we got these, and we're going to do exactly the same thing for the iron sticks. Let's see. Do I need this obscene amount of inserters here as well? Yes, I do. Oh gosh. I mean, it is technically not necessary what I'm doing here to myself, but I like to build my factories in a way that they can be put on full throughput if I need that. Sometimes I build in a way that maximum throughput is not achievable and I don't care about it. Oh yeah, actually I am such an... wait a sec. I did a mistake here. Yeah, gonna do it like that. So... There we go. Gotta do it like this, otherwise it won't work. Oh, heavy armor. Nice. So we have now these sticks and we have these, so we can totally wire that back up. There we go. Now we need the engines. These will have to flow down. Let's see. We're going to require this and that, so it has to be going like this. Doesn't make sense yet, promise it'll do in a hot minute. So we're going to... Let's see, how many inserters do we require? One for this side and one for that side. And luckily the red-handed ones were going to... We don't even need to calculate, because one of them suffices. End of the story. Good, so we got the engines now. We're going to use these engines for 2 different products, not only one, so it's going to be a little bit more complicated this time. The next thing on our list are the burner inserters, finally. So... What I hate most about this setup is that I'm gonna have to redo this for them all again. But I separate my science from my mall, you know. Okay, so we can now set up this bad boy here, but not quite, because we gonna have to have electric engines. So for those electric engines, we're gonna require copper cable. Luckily, I only... Oh, I forgot to put copper cable on the tab. Whoopsie. So, we require only one factory for that. Lucky me. I'm going to put that down here. So, copper cable. I guess it's the same insanity as usual. And you know what? I just stop thinking, you know? Just stop thinking and plot down inserters. Later, we're going to grab them. I love my strategy. It's foolproof. So we are going to put ourselves here, those things together. Again, same trick. And then we have all the ingredients, well, not all of the ingredients, but most of the ingredients together. Beautiful. Give a sec, that can be a little bit better like that. Okay. So now we have all the resources available that we require, or at least I hope so. So here goes. And then we can finally build those frickin' science packs. Yay, steel axe. Finally we get somewhere. So this will be delivered from that angle, and this bad boy here requires gear wheels, copper cables, and oh boy, I'm running out of my inserters already. I really was hoping they'd last a little bit longer. I took so much time in preparing this video and pre-crafting the items. Turns out I haven't prepared enough. I cannot say that I'm surprised at all. Okay. That's the real pain of this mod pack. You have to put yourself through so many intermediates. It's painstaking. Luckily, we can handcraft constantly, can't we? Okay, so the last point on the list are the transport belts, and then we're actually capable of doing the science. Brilliant. So that stuff is actually a quite casual customer. It only requires stuff that we provide already en masse. So, quite happy about that one. Then we only need to put these bad boys together, and then we finally got ourselves where we want to be at. Ah, early game power poles. Such a pain. Alright, so... Oh, it requires engines, my bad. Whoopsie daisy. There we go. So, we got that. So now we just need to combine the streams. You know what? I'm actually envisioning it right now like that here. Boom. Just like that. And now we just need to manufacture these things somewhere. I think that's the least of my worries. But while we're at it, let's keep handcrafting! Alright. Took me only 15 minutes to set all this up. I'm quite proud of myself. So, we're going to get ourselves 5 machines up. Probably none of my most elegant solutions, but it's also not the worst. Sure, I do have some empty space here and there in between, but I also do see that these two guys are going to go quite well together. Just need to unify the streams here. Just like that. So, well, we have to rewire it, otherwise it won't work. Oh, I really hope that this age of handcrafting is over soon. It's killing me. It's seriously killing me. So for whatever reason, we don't have enough inserters right now. Or do we? Or am I just impatient? I think I'm just impatient. It's all working out fine, I'd say. Alright, so... we got this. We're finally at the point where research is fully automated and we got even both lavers at once. It's only 0.5 science packs per second. Surely not terribly much. I also have the distinct feeling as if this thing here is not shoveling in copper cables fast enough. I got the feeling that this... yeah, it's... there's still a slight delay, but it's okay. The most important thing now is that we can afford all these super fancy things, like medium electric poles, that will put an end to this misery that we're getting ourselves through right now. I mean, it's 75 packs, but since we're producing half a pack per second, it's actually not that long anymore. Great. So let's check out how much this whole complex is eating per second. I love this max rate calculator tool for these purposes because you get a pretty nice readout. So technically, this could eat way more iron plates than we're actually providing, but practically we're underfeeding many of these machines, or at least I hope so. Our factory planner here tells me that we got 2.7, and this one is not helpful. We gotta put it down like that. So this is basically a bit more than 50% of my production here, but I seriously cannot really get myself much more productive than that. We just have to work with very, very limited space. I mean, I do see myself now dismantling this part of the factory, so we can notch it up a tad, slight bit, but seriously, we're pretty much at the end of our possibilities. Speaking about which, I'm tossing a couple of copper plates here and there, just to get rid of them. And now we have to think about the actual starter mall. So it's quite painful, but you know, all the inserters here are just reserved. We just cannot just pick them up because they'd be missing elsewhere. So we're gonna do what we gotta do. We're gonna merge our production streams here and get ourselves a similar thing going like we have it on the other side. So here I want to work a little bit different though. So first of all, there's one really important and pending thing. We need to produce brick at a steady pace. I'm going to make that happen though behind the scenes between two videos because seriously, it's just putting up a couple of miners and that's that. It's not really anything enlightening happening there. What I am down for here is now that we're going to go for some intermediates. So let's check out the relationship between these two machines. They are, well, almost satisfying each other, and that's pretty cool. We're going to work with that. My idea here is to provide a couple of those basics right on the belt. This will be much slower still than providing things directly on the factory, so to say, or in the line. That makes more sense for you. But at the same time, it is a much more, well, how to put it, satisfying way to string things up. And I don't have any big demands on the efficiency of this setup. We are going to get ourselves now some machinery going that's capable of producing some inserters for me, some mining machines, and some assembling machines. These three things are just what I require to get my empire here kickstarted, because we now totally have to scale up. We have to produce more power. By the way, I just noticed that I need another burner turbine generator. We need more power. We need more everything right now. And the best way to do this is by getting my hands on this coal field up here. And then we're going to set up some electricity infrastructure. Because I have that slight feeling that we are going to hit the limits of our electricity quite soon. This thing here is just, inefficient. That's the worst thing about these burner turbine generators. They consume more fuel than they output energy, and that's pretty unacceptable for me. Anyway, so let's do a similar thing like we did here, except for the point that I don't want to put gear wheels on the belt, but that's simply because I just don't have the logistical toys to get the job done well. Instead, we're going to put these engines on the line and these little annoying buggers also, as well, because it's just very, very annoying to have these on your to-do list. So let's check out the relationship between the providers. So is this satisfying? No, it's not. One of these machines requires even more copper cable than one assembler can provide. So let's check out if the relationship works out like that. So I'm going to go for some simple design tricks here this time. I'm not factorizing it via the factory planner. I rarely do this for my molds because I find it a real pain to get this job done properly. The mall is most of the time an improvised space for me. Yeah, we're going to work out like this. We just need to find out where we can get ourselves the gear wheels from. So, a moment ago I said I won't do this. Well, turns out I was lying. It's just too effective to do, to neglect it, okay? So, we're going to be a bit smarter than the last time now. Here we go. And we're just going to output this madness. I mean, with the current technology that I have available, we will upgrade our inserters rather sooner than later, but one thing at a time, yeah? So, Grappling Gun sounds like fun, but I want the really useful things first. So, logistics too, well, I don't think that I'm really able to do this. Let's see, can we build those assembling machines tier 2? Ish. Takes a while until we actually can get there. So, as a matter of fact, I'm going to stick to the red tech for now, because we don't have a direct benefit from the green tech currently. That's okay. Sometimes things like these happen. So, all the madness. And we got what we need. We're all out of inserters. I'm eating inserters like candy this time. But whatever. I really don't mind. It's okay. We're spending them for a good cause, aren't we? So, oh boy, we actually need iron plates as well. No. This is getting more and more out of hand. So I feel as if I'm totally over-providing here, but it's okay. So, we could now go for... Let's see, how many of these does this thing eat? 0.62. And this one provides a little bit more than that. So, yeah, we're going to do this nevertheless. Why not? So, putting up a splitter here, where we only filter the engines. So we don't have to bother with unwanted gear wheels. Great. So, it's slowly coming together. So this is a really nice trick for us to get ourselves the byproducts that we'll need so many of in the mall now. Just realized also that I'm going to put this down like this. We're going to make this happen. Yep. Alright. So, we have to work ourselves around the starship. It's good practice of mine. And yeah, the rest of this is just putting pieces together. We got all the necessary parts, except for the stone bricks. I'm going to wire up the stone bricks between the two episodes. Just set up a bit of a small scale mining and burning operation over here. And at the beginning of the next episode, I'm just going to showcase that little thing, that little mall thing that I built. And then we are going to talk about electricity expansion, scanning, and all the good things in between. Totally looking forward to this because we're now actually starting to play this game. And look at this naughty little patch. Jeez. There's copper everywhere. These mixed patches, I really hate them. So, leave me your comments down below. I really like to hear from you guys. Leave me a thumbs up on that one as well if you'd like to. Always love to see some feedback, especially the positive one. And consider subscribing to my channel. It doesn't cost you a dime, and it really helps me out a lot more than you might think. So, that being said, have a wonderful day. Thanks a lot for being awesome, and see you guys next time, and have a great day.